The first rule of St. Helena Hospital's night shift was simple. Never answer a call from room 317 after midnight. No one explained why. They never had to. On my first night, the rule was written in red marker on the whiteboard at the nurse's station, circled 3 times like a warning from someone who had survived a disaster. I laughed it off. Hospitals were full of strange superstitions. Whispers passed between exhausted nurses to make sense of long hours and endless death. By 11:58 p.m., I wasn't laughing anymore. The fluorescent lights above flickered, dimming the hallway into a sickly yellow glow. The hospital was unnaturally quiet, the kind of silence that felt thick, as if sound itself had been smothered. Even the heart monitors seemed to beat softer, slower, as though afraid of being heard. I checked my watch. 11:59 p.m. The air turned cold. Not air conditioning cold, this was different. Heavy, wet, like the breath of something old exhaling into the corridor. Then the phone rang. One sharp ring. Then another. I stared at it. The screen flashed a room number. 317. My stomach tightened. I told myself it was a coincidence, a glitch in an outdated system. I reached for the phone. Before my fingers touched it, someone grabbed my wrist. "Don't," whispered a voice behind me. I spun around. It was Clara, the senior nurse. Her face looked drained of color, eyes sunken as if she hadn't slept in years. "You don't answer that," she said. "Ever." The phone kept ringing. "What's in room 317? I asked. Clara didn't answer. Instead, she slowly released my wrist and backed away, as if even standing near me had become dangerous. "Just let it ring," she said. At 12:01 a.m., the phone stopped. The cold lingered. Room 317 sat at the end of the west wing, sealed off behind double doors that were always locked. According to hospital records, it was empty, no patient assigned for years. Yet every night, without fail, a call came from that room. They said the room had once belonged to a long-term patient. A woman brought in after a fire. Severe burns. No family. No visitors. She stayed longer than anyone expected, clinging to life while the hospital slowly forgot her. Until one night, during a power outage, the generators failed. Machines shut down. Monitors went silent. By the time electricity returned, room 317 was empty. No body. No patient. Just blackened handprints on the walls, dragging toward the door. They renovated the room, repainted it, sealed it shut. But the calls never stopped. At 2:17 a.m., I heard crying. Soft. Broken. Coming from the west wing. I froze, clipboard trembling in my hands. Hospitals had noises. Groans, coughs, murmurs, but this was different. This sounded desperate. I followed the sound despite every instinct screaming at me to turn back. The double doors to the west wing were open. They were never open. Cold air spilled out like fog from a grave. The lights flickered as I stepped inside, shadows stretching unnaturally along the walls. The crying grew louder. It was coming from room 317. The door stood ajar. I don't remember deciding to enter. My body moved on its own, drawn forward as if pulled by invisible strings. Inside, the room smelled of smoke. Burnt flesh. The walls were covered in dark stains, no longer hidden by fresh paint. The bed sat in the center, sheets scorched and torn. And someone was sitting on it. A woman. Her back faced me. Her hospital gown clung to her skin, melted into it in places. Wisps of smoke curled from her body. "Hello," I whispered. She turned her head slowly. Her face was wrong. Skin stretched and cracked like burned plastic. Eyes sunken deep into charred sockets. Her mouth opened, lips peeling back to reveal blackened teeth. "You took too long," she said. The door slammed shut behind me. The lights went out. I ran. I don't remember how I escaped the room, only the sound of her screaming echoing down the hallway, her footsteps dragging behind me, wet, scraping, relentless. I burst back into the main ward, gasping for air. The West Wing doors slammed shut on their own. Everything went quiet. Clara stood at the nurse's station, staring at me with horror etched across her face. "You went in," she said. I nodded, unable to speak. Her shoulders slumped. "Then she knows you now. What does she want?" I asked. Clara swallowed hard. "Someone to take her place." At 3:33 a.m., the hospital monitors went haywire. Heart rates spiked, flatlined, spiked again. The lights flickered violently. The temperature dropped so fast I could see my breath. Then every phone rang at once, all displaying the same number. 317. From the darkness of the hallway, I saw her. She walked slowly, each step leaving blackened footprints on the floor. Her skin smoked, her eyes locked onto me. "You answered," she whispered, though I hadn't touched the phone. "You came." Staff ran. Patients screamed. Doors slammed shut. She didn't chase them. Only me. I backed away until I hit the wall. "Please," I cried. I didn't know. She tilted her head, studying me like a broken toy. "No one ever knows," she said. "That's why they stay." Her hand reached out, charred fingers stretching impossibly long. The world went dark. I woke up in a hospital bed. Daylight streamed through the window. A doctor stood over me, checking my vitals. "You collapsed during your shift," he said. "Stress. Hallucinations." I tried to speak, but my throat burned. They discharged me that afternoon. I never went back. Months passed. I tried to forget, but some nights, when the clock strikes midnight, my phone rings. No caller ID, just silence on the other end. And faintly, beneath the static, crying. Last night, a message appeared on my screen. "Missed call. 317. And for the first time, beneath it was a voicemail. I pressed play. My own voice whispered back to me. "Don't answer. Ever." The end.